I was 17 when Evelyn sat beside me on the bus and said, "Is this seat taken?" I shook my head. "No." She smiled like it mattered. "Good." That one word followed me everywhere. Every morning, she waited for me at the rusted sign near my street. "You're late again," she'd say. "I'm standing here, aren't I?" I'd reply. She'd roll her eyes. "One day you'll miss me." I laughed. "You'll never disappear." She looked away. "Everyone does." We talked about dreams like they were small enough to hold. "I want to paint," she whispered once. I said, "I want to build something that lasts." She nudged me with her shoulder. "Then build me a future." I almost said yes. At night she'd call. "Are you awake?" "Always." "Lie." "Okay, sometimes." She'd tell me about colors and clouds and how freedom smelled like rain. I told her about walls and doors and how I planned to leave our town without looking back. Then her mother started calling during our walks. "Evelyn, where are you?" Through the sharp phone speaker. "Outside," she said softly. "You will be home in 10 minutes." Evelyn swallowed. "Yes, Mom." She'd hang up and stare at her shoes. "I'm sorry," she'd mumble. "For what?" I asked. "For not being brave." Her father spoke less than she did. Once, when I walked her to the door, he said, "Study hard, son," without looking at me. I nodded. "I will," Evelyn whispered after. "He stopped believing in me a long time ago." Aunt May noticed everything. "You like that girl?" she told me while stirring soup. I shrugged. "I just walk her home." She smiled sadly. "That's how it starts." I whispered, "That's how it ends too." Then Lucas appeared like a hero in an old movie. He leaned on lockers and said, "Evelyn, you don't belong here." She laughed the first time. "Where do I belong?" "With me," he replied. I stood there with my books shaking. "He's confident," she told me later. "He's loud," I said. "He listens," she said. "So do I." She sighed. "Not to the right things." Lucas bought her paint and called it belief. "You deserve better," he'd tell her. And she would answer, "I know." I wanted to scream, "Better isn't louder." I never did. When her mother found the paint, she called me. "You are a distraction," she said coldly. I whispered. I would never hurt her. "You already are," she replied. I told Evelyn, "I think your mom hates me." She forced a smile. "She hates anything that isn't perfect." I said, "Am I the problem?" She didn't answer. One night, she cried on the phone. "I'm tired." "Then rest," I said. "I'm tired of fighting." "Then stop." She whispered, "If I stop, I disappear." Lucas drove her home in a car I couldn't afford. "He says he'll take me away someday," she said quietly. "Does he ask if you want to go?" She pressed her lips together. "No." Aunt May warned me. "Silence makes space for other men." I replied, "Love should be quiet." She shook her head. "No, child. Love should be brave." Evelyn leaned into Lucas more every week. "Are you okay?" I asked once. She said, "I will be. When?" "Soon," she promised. At graduation, Lucas hugged her in front of everyone. I stood behind a camera and whispered, "I'm here too." No one heard. Before summer ended, she texted, "I'm sorry if I've been distant." I replied, "I'll wait." She wrote, "Don't." I typed, "I don't know how to stop." When we met again, she smiled sadly. "You're safe." I asked, "Is that bad?" She nodded. "Sometimes." I almost told her every secret. I almost said her name like a prayer. I almost begged. Instead, I said, "If you ever need me, I'm here." She kissed my cheek. "Goodbye, Adam." I watched her walk into a future that wasn't mine. And I told myself loving her from a distance was enough. I believed she'd come back. I believe I had time. 10 years later, I woke to a knock that sliced midnight in half, and my name followed it like a bruise. "Adam," a voice breathed thin as rain. I opened the door and found Evelyn in white, shaking, a ring flashing where my future should have been. "You're married," I said, because air still worked though my heart didn't. She nodded. I had nowhere else to go. I wanted to laugh, to scream, to fold her into me, but my hand stayed nailed to the frame like a prayer. God watched silently tonight and wrote my fate in disappearing ink. "Come in," I whispered, though the room felt suddenly smaller than a coffin. She didn't sit. She paced. "It was never love," she said fast, like pushing a knife and before Mercy could argue. I asked, "Then what was it?" She laughed weakly. "Noise. Fear." My mother counted my breath. I said, I could have been enough. She stopped. You were quiet, she answered. Too quiet. I waited, I said. She turned away. Waiting isn't fighting, she replied, and the sentence ended everything I thought patience had built. Like a winter hammer shattering bridges, I had crossed barefoot, praying alone. I asked, why come now? She pressed fingers to her temples. To say goodbye before I forget how my own voice sounds, she replied. To apologize for choosing a roof over a heart. I asked, are you safe? She smiled crooked. Safe is another word for owned. I swallowed. Did you ever love me? She closed her eyes. Every day, I didn't choose you, she said. Then she held out an envelope. I wrote to you when courage still lived here. Inside were 10 years folded small, breathing, begging me not to wake the past with fingers blistered by hope. My mouth betrayed me first. Don't go, I said, shame peeling my tongue. Stay tonight. Stay wrong with me. She backed toward the door. If I stay, I die a little louder, she whispered. You taught me how to be quiet. You taught me how to be expensive. Love doesn't cost, I argued. She touched my cheek. It does when you sell your future. I can change it, I said. I can be brave. Too late, she breathed. Then I fell to my knees, counting promises like coins already counterfeit tonight, and the floor answered with cold nothing inside me. She opened the door, and winter rushed in like witnesses. Goodbye, Adam, she said, official as a signature. I grabbed her sleeve. Please. She slipped free gently, as if untangling thread from a needle. Love me in another life, she said, and left. The hallway swallowed her sound. I slid down the wall. Scream, my chest ordered. I obeyed the floor instead, pressing my mouth to it, trying to become a stain it could keep forever because walls remember what people pretend they never borrowed away. I waited for dawn to unwrite me, but night refused kindly ever again, maybe. The envelope waited on the table like a verdict. I tore it open and shook words onto my hands. Adam, I loved you first. I loved you last. I loved you when fear wore my face. My breath broke. I chose a door that locked behind me. The letter cried. Forgive me for choosing safety over truth. I whispered. You chose air over drowning. Pages blurred. If I come tonight, stop me, she had written. I laughed until salt burned my lips and begged paper for mercy that only fire pretends to know well while shadows counted my failing yes. Anger rose like a second spine. I shouted at walls. Lucas knew, I said aloud. He sold you dreams with interest. The apartment listened politely. Your mother drew maps to cages, I continued. Your father erased your footprints. I punched air, and I practiced disappearing. Silence replied, good job. I answered, thank you. Then I unbuttoned faith and let it fall. Betrayal arrives quietly, I told the ceiling. It nodded dust, and leaves loud. I finished, breaking furniture with words I couldn't lift until dawn threatened court and sentence, and I pled guilty of hope again then for no one. Hours stacked like cigarettes. I smoked none and burned anyway. I told my phone, ring if you believe miracles. It stayed mute. I told the mirror, teach me your face. It refused. Fine, I said, I'll borrow someone else's. The window offered stars like receipts for light I couldn't return. Write me numb, I begged the night. It wrote rain inside my bones. I pressed the letter to my chest. Lie to me again. I pleaded paper. It remained honest, and honesty bruised deeper than fists ever could in rooms where mercy never rented beds. Nightly promises fade slowly always. When gray arrived, I counted breaths like emergency prayer beads. I'm alive, I announced. The kettle didn't argue. I showered ghosts from my hair. Go on, I told them. They packed my face. I read the letter again. I loved you, it said. I answered, I love you. Not the same tense the sink judged. Shut up, I asked porcelain. Then I stood barefoot in a morning that felt borrowed. She'll come back, I told Hope. You lie, Hope answered sweetly. I still have time, I insisted, and time did not deny me yet counted coins of nearly faith left over. I stopped eating and told Aunt May leave. When she begged just soup from the door, I said, I'm full. She whispered, you're vanishing. I answered, good, and shut the light. Then I talked to photographs. Why, I asked Evelyn why the frames answered in dust. I laughed and promised bottles. One more, the bottles said all. And I believe them. I called my job and quit out loud. The phone replied, take care. And I said, of what? Tonight alone again, wrongly, somehow, still breathing here. Now, please God. I replayed buses and roofs and whispers stay. I told memory, no. Memory sang and showed your dress fluttering again. I cursed Lucas thief. I shouted at chairs. He answered through silence. Winter. I cried, give her back. The walls said pay. I emptied pockets of sleep. I wrote your name wrong on skin until it burned red inside me. Then colder than winter ever now tonight. Please again, God, listen, if you exist at all here now today, sir, and breathe. Once more, please me now so badly. I pushed Aunt May away with words like knives go. I snapped. I'm fine, she said. You're dying. I replied, faster, she cried. Adam. I slammed the door and answered what he took her. The door replied. You hit her, I whispered. I was quiet. It whispered loud enough. I slid down, listening to breathing like breaking glass inside me, then stood and swore nothing would fix me ever again, anywhere now today. Sir, please, no more tears left now. Inside me, swear here today. Alone again, please God, okay. I drank mornings and drowned afternoon cheers. I told the sink, it said, you're late. I laughed for living, the clock judged for dying. I texted my boss. I quit. He wrote sorry. I wrote goodbye. Then through my phone like rain against pillows, stop calling. I told ghosts, they said answer. I begged air, teach me numb. The air said practice. I practiced until my hands forgot names tonight. Only empty spoke loudly here and now again. Somehow still here, breathing. Please God, wait with me tonight. Please now again. I opened the door to Sophie, and she smelled like truth come. I said she stepped in careful as glass. I hate him. She started, Lucas. I said, say it. She said, he sold you small. I laughed, discounted. She nodded. He told her you were weak. I answered. I was quiet. He called it fear. He bought loyalty with shine. I asked, so she paid me away. Sophie whispered, he priced love high, I said. And I went broke again tonight here. Now, dear God, help me please now. I asked, how deep? Sophie said, deep enough to drown. Tell me. I begged. He said you drank. She said he told her you were leaving. I shook. I stayed. Sophie sighed. He promised hotels and halos. I laughed. Angels lie. She corrected. Angels also do. I groaned. Did she believe? Sophie whispered, belief grows from hunger. I said, then I starved her. She replied, you fed silence. I finished. And he fed gold. Sophie answered. Poison shines. I understood bruises, then deeper here. Now today, please. God, why me? I said names. Sophie hesitated. Dr. Harris. I laughed. The healer. She said mirror. I asked, meaning. She said he reports back. I barked lies. Sophie shook screenshots. I read pain. So my couch had teeth. She said leashes. I said then I bite. She warned careful. I replied too late. I want truth. I want wind. I want her. Sophie whispered. I want you breathing. I answered barely. Sophie said, that's enough. I doubted, then nodded once weekly here now today. Please God, keep me alive. Please somehow today. I chased Sophie out with thank yous like stones, and I met myself in the bathroom mirror. Monster. I accused victim. It replied coward. I countered survivor. It sighed. I leaned close. Teach me anger. The mirror said hunger. Teach me mercy. Water. Teach me forget fire. I turned the shower scorching. Lie to me. I told steam. Okay, answered you're strong. Wrong. I corrected. I'm empty. The drain laughed. Full enough. I cried more now tonight. Please God, listen here now today, sir, and stay with me, please. I sat with bottles like jurors guilty. I declared chair asked of what? I said hope. Window said denied. I appealed sleep. Floor said contempt. I begged future. Light whispered later. I screamed Lucas. Ceiling echoed Lucy. I corrected Evelyn. Answered absence. I raged. Me silence replied present. I sank. Take it back. Silence said refunds expired. I laughed. Figures shadows bowed. Encore. I refused. In now. Dawn promised soon. I curse. Hurry. Time smirk pay. I asked. With what time set you? Only here and now. Then always maybe. I opened the envelope again. Forgive. I read no. I answered please. It begged. I can't. I whispered. Tried. Insisted. Stop. I ordered heartbeat. It disobeyed. Eat. I told body later. It said live. I told soul barely. It joked. Hate. I confessed. Lucas. Hate. Evelyn. Hate me. Silence. Clap. Bravo. I bowed. Encore. It demanded pain. I delivered enough. I lied more. It sang morning. I begged. Not yet. Dawn said always. I cried. Wait. Dawn answered. Never. I stood hollow butt. Breathing still here now today. I don't sleep, I told Dr. Harris. You're here, he said. That's not sleep. It's a start. I wanted to stop hurting. He leaned back. Say that again. I wanted to stop hurting. Now, without wanting. It hurts. Good, he said. Good. Pain points, he replied. They don't chase. They point. Point where? Anywhere you refuse to go. I refuse loneliness. Then go there bravely, he said, and I hated him for sounding right. I left therapy and blocked Evelyn's name like a disease. No more looking, I told my thumb. It disobeyed once, then twice, then learned fear. I traded stalking for spreadsheets. At cafes I whispered, teach me money, and receipts answer with deadlines. My first plan failed inside 3 weeks. I said again. My bank app said, insufficient. I answered, watch me. Pride paid nothing, but it sat beside me like a guard dog with teeth. I met Nathan in line for bad coffee. Lawyer, I guessed. Former poor, he laughed. Teach me contracts, I begged. Teach me hope, he countered. We shook hands like two debts forgiving each other. I need a company, I told him. You need enemies, he replied. Already have. Good, he said. Then you'll respect paper. He drew boxes on napkins. Build slow, he ordered. Only no pain speed, I confessed. Then slow will feel like victory, he smiled. I failed publicly first, then privately. Then profit teased me and vanished again. I told Dr. Harris, I'm empty. He asked, what did you pour out? Her. Then pour yourself in, he said. With what? With time, he answered. And time is brutally fair. I hated fairness too. Night still called her. I changed my ringtone to silence. You don't get to live here, I told memory. It tried anyway. I threw it out with emails and old shirts. Aunt May asked, how are you? I said busy. Good busy or hiding busy? I replied, both pay. She hugged me. You're colder. I nodded. It's working. Nathan saw my first real thing and said, congratulations on not begging. I asked, when does it feel real? When you stop checking who's watching, he answered. I stopped checking by accident one day and noticed freedom smelled like burnt coffee and clean floors. Dr. Harris asked, do you miss her? I said, I miss who I was allowed to be. Good, he replied. More than that, boy. I whispered. He was soft. He was practice, he said. For what? For you, he answered. My second company failed prettier. My third learned to walk. I named it something ugly and honest. It won't abandon me. I joked. Nathan corrected. It will. That's business. You won't. I like that math. I told myself rules like scriptures. Never beg. Never wait. Never buy dreams on credit. I taped them above a desk scarred by coffee moons. When Evelyn's anniversary popped up, I deleted calendars like curses. I texted Nathan, I'm tempted. He wrote, temptation is proof you're alive, not permission. I breathed and paid invoices instead. Dr. Harris tried to make me cry. Say her name, he said. No. Then say yours. Adam. Again. Adam. Louder. Adam. How's that feel? Mine. Money arrived like a shy animal. I fed it patience. It stayed. I bought a chair that didn't ache. I slept. Not well, but sometimes. When dreams brought her, I woke and told the ceiling, you're late. It didn't argue anymore. Nathan raised a glass to contracts, and I raised mine to quiet. You've changed, he said. I'm changing, I corrected. Into what? Into someone who doesn't ask for permission to breathe. Aunt May sent soup. I ate it. Progress, she texted. I wrote back. Hunger is teaching me manners. At therapy, I said, I don't hate her. Dr. Harris said, then you're ready to outgrow her. I don't forgive her. Forgiveness is optional, he shrugged. Freedom is not. I built a room inside me and locked it with work. Inside, I stacked courage like files. Some days fell apart. I rebuilt cabinets instead of hearts. It was easier and nobody bled. One night, I caught myself smiling at a woman on a train. I apologized to nobody. You're allowed, Dr. Harris would have said. So I allowed. When loneliness knocked, I answered with keyboards. When fear knocked, Nathan answered with clauses. When memory knocked, I didn't open. By winter, success wore my coat like it belonged there. Nathan said, you're colder. I answered, I'm alive. He nodded. Same temperature. I promised myself in the mirror, I won't beg anyone again. The mirror believed me. I started believing too. 5 years later, I walked into a ballroom that smelled like money and old promises, and I told my pulse, behave. It laughed softly and tried anyway. I wore a face I had practiced and a suit I had earned. Welcome, a woman said at the door. I said, thank you, and meant it to myself. Inside, voices traded futures like cards. I asked a waiter for water. Strong, he joked. Clean, I replied. He nodded as if that made sense. Then I saw her. Evelyn stood by a window wearing a dress that didn't belong to her. I knew because it wore her instead. She looked smaller, like someone had edited her down. I stopped and didn't. My body moved without permission. Adam, she said, and my name sounded like something she had borrowed and forgotten. Hello, Evelyn. I answered and waited for the earthquake. Nothing happened. My heart sent a memo that read, we are closed. You look different, she tried. I am, I said. She smiled like a question. Happy. Busy, I said. She laughed thinly. That sounds like you. It sounds like me now, I corrected. A shadow grew behind her and introduced itself as a man. Darling, he purred. You're early. She stiffened. This is Adam. He scanned me like luggage. Chairman Vale, he said, offering a hand that taught obedience. I shook it briefly. Congratulations, I said. On, he asked. On owning a room, I replied. He smiled like a blade, considering its reflection. Rooms exist to be ruled, he said. I nodded. People exist to be free. Evelyn's breath left her. Vale slid an arm around her waist. She didn't move into it. He noticed and tightened. Adam here builds things, she said too quickly. Ah, he said, a builder. Of exits, I added. He laughed. Everyone needs dreams. Some need doors, I answered. He looked at my badge. So you're the quiet storm. I'm just rain, I said. He examined me again. We should talk, he offered. About weather? I asked. About power. I don't collect that, I said. Everyone does, he insisted. Some return it, I replied. The crowd closed in like polite water, and Vale was called away by a shark with cufflinks. Evelyn stayed, stranded beside a view of a city that refused to blink. I thought you vanished, she said. I did, I replied. Where? I built a somewhere. She whispered, I looked for you. I moved, I said. She swallowed. I'm glad you're here. I'm already gone, I answered. Her eyes watered like a lawn that hadn't been allowed to grow. Adam, I'm not. I raised a finger. Don't explain weather to someone who learned to swim alone. She flinched. I never learned. I almost told her I taught myself with leadership books and bruises. Instead, I asked, are you safe? She smiled a safe smile. Vertically. Horizontally. Crowded, she replied. I nodded. Rooms do that. Chairman Vale returned, perfume sharpening him. We're going to greet the minister, he told her. She said, in a minute. His mouth agreed, his eyes didn't. He turned to me. Stay close, he said. I don't, I answered. He blinked and used that grammar. Evelyn followed me a step like a child chasing a balloon. Coffee, she asked. I drink water, I said. Then water, she tried. I paused. One glass, I allowed. We stood at the bar pretending the bottles were horizons. I'm proud of you, she said. I am too, I replied. Of me, she corrected. I met her eyes. I said. Her voice came out small. I made a mistake. I sipped water. We all do. I mean with you. I mean with me, I said. She reached toward my sleeve and stopped herself midair. I feel lost, she admitted. Maps cost, I replied. Will you draw me one? I charge, I said gently. With what? She asked. With truth, I answered. She blinked hard. I was afraid. I nodded. So was I. She whispered, why don't you hate me? I shrugged. I spent it all. Vale appeared with a smile stapled on. Time, he told her. She said nothing. I said she said one glass. He glared. I run clocks. I build time, I answered. He studied me like a purchase he couldn't make. Evelyn finally moved toward him, slow like surrender rehearsed. She looked back once. Adam, I raised my glass. To clean water, I said. Later she found me by the exit. Are you leaving? I arrived, I replied. Her eyes searched my face for old permission. I miss you, she said. I considered the words like antiques. Memory misses everyone, I answered. She chased me then, soft-footed. Wait. I turned. What? Tell me there's still. I cut it clean. There is still me. Us, she pleaded. I smiled kindly. Never again. When I walked out, the city felt obtainable. Power didn't follow me. I follow myself. Have you seen the news? Nathan asked before I could say hello. Which disaster? I replied. Your old one, he said. Lucas. I opened my laptop like a coffin and found his face bruised by headlines. Fraud probe, one screamed. Affairs, another sang. I whispered, sing louder. Nathan warned, careful. I am careful, I answered. I'm not touching anything. Sophie called at noon. It's live, she said. Everything is live, I told her. Not like this, she insisted. I dropped the files. I closed my eyes. All of them. Receipts, she said. Messages, payments, promises. I smiled without teeth. Thank you. For what? For truth with timestamps. She breathed. He'll hate me. He started it. I replied. Endings hurt louder. That afternoon screens coughed his name. Former Golden Boy faces charges, they announced. I told my coffee, bitter fits today. It agreed. Lucas went from favorite to rumor in a single scroll. They're eating him, Nathan said softly. Hungry rooms, I replied. Do you feel good? No, I said honest. I feel quiet. Evelyn texted like a stranger, try my door. Can we talk? I answered about weather. About us, she wrote. There is no us, I sent. Please, she typed. Say it, I agreed. We met at a cafe that sold comfort in cups. She arrived thinner than memory. Adam, she said, reaching, stopping. I nodded. Evelyn. Her eyes searched my mouth. You heard. I read, I said. She swallowed. I'm sorry. Different man, I replied. About Lucas, she rushed. Same man, I corrected. She leaned forward. I didn't know. I stared through glass. You knew enough to leave. It wasn't like that, she protested. It was exactly like that, I answered. Tears fell like bargains expiring. I'm scared, she whispered. Fear travels light, I said. She asked, do you still care? I curate, I replied. Curate what? Distance. Nathan texted under the table. Media wants comment. I replied, no statement. Evelyn saw my phone. You're powerful now. I laughed once. I'm just employed by myself. She tried again. I need you. I lifted my cup. I need water. Stop, she pleaded. I did, I said. Outside, cameras hunted. Did Sophie ruin him? Someone asked me by accident. Truth did. I answered without stopping. Did you help? Another smiled. I helped me. I said. They chased. I refused. Lucas called that night from a number wearing makeup. Adam, he croaked. Still alive? I said. You did this, he accused. I did nothing, I replied. You did everything. Tell her something, he begged. Please. I laughed softly. I'm bad at deliveries now. Please, he said. I ended the call like a light. Sophie rang, shaking. He found me. Are you safe? Yes, she said, shaking. Truth trembles first, I told her. She asked, did I do right? You did real, I answered. Evelyn left a voicemail by accident. I can't breathe, she sobbed. I said to the empty room, borrow rooms. She called again with lips in her words. Adam, I married a stranger. I noticed. I replied to air. I'm alone, she cried. You practiced, I said. She whispered, be kind. I said, be gone. Next day, Lucas wore shame on every channel. Stocks fell like winter birds. His house learned emptiness. Sophie sent one line. He moved out. I wrote back, out as honest. Evelyn showed up at my office unannounced. I had nowhere else, she said again, familiar as a bruise. I answered, nowhere is everywhere. She begged, don't be cruel. I'm being clear, I replied. She touched the glass door. Let me in. It's already open, I said. Then why won't you? Because I did, I answered. She stared. Will you ever forgive me? I forgave yesterday, I said. Then love me, she pleaded. I loved yesterday too, I answered. She hit the door softly. What about today? Today is mine, I said. She slid down the wall, quiet like dust. I waited, then spoke because silence had learned my voice. Get up, I said. For what? She asked. For yourself, I replied. I don't know how. Learn loudly somewhere else, I said. When she left, the office felt cleaner than cleaning ever achieved. Nathan peered in. Are you okay? I am unclaimed, I answered. That night, I watched the city dismantle Lucas in pixels. I didn't cheer. I didn't cry. Silence did it for me. Mia spilled coffee on my contract and said, I'm sorry, I'm a disaster. I smiled despite myself. It's insured. Your paper. Me, I answered. She laughed gently. Then I owe you tea. I drink water, I said. Then sunshine, she offered. I'm allergic, I replied. To what? Soft things. She nodded like she understood entirely. I brought gloves, she said, and walked away with my damage like it belonged to tomorrow. She started sitting near me on trains, not close, just present. Do you want quiet? She'd ask. I'd answer, I want loud walls. She'd smile. Then we'll whisper at them. I hated how that helped. One evening she said, You don't look lonely. I'm not, I said. You look practiced, she corrected. For what? For loss, she replied. I closed my book. Don't diagnose strangers. I won't, she promised. I'll just bring them soup. I don't eat soup. Then I'll drink it for you, she said. I watched steam forgive the air between us. A week later, she asked my name like a request, not a demand. Adam, I said. Mia, she answered. I nodded like that solved something. Evelyn called that night, like weather forgetting seasons. I'm divorced, she said. Statistics, I replied. I'm free, she tried. I'm busy, I said. Can we meet? I met you years ago, I answered. Adam, she whispered. I hear, I said. Mia noticed without asking. Your shoulders changed, she observed. Do they still exist? I joked. Barely, she smiled. Can I carry them? No, I replied. She said, okay, and carry my silence instead. Evelyn texted every mercy. I waited. I replied, you wandered. I found you, she insisted. You found regret, I answered. Mia brought oranges and said, peel your thoughts. I asked why. Because hands obey faster than hearts, she said. I peeled. My hands learned me. Evelyn showed up in my office with moth eyes. I left him, she said. I noticed, I answered. I came back, she tried. I stayed gone, I replied. Be human, she begged. I am, I said. With me, she pleaded. Without you, I answered. Mia waited downstairs, staring at pigeons, negotiating crumbs. I didn't know if you'd come, she admitted when I arrived. I came, I said. Where? She asked softly. I don't know yet, I told her. She offered a bench like a treaty. Sit with me, she said. I don't sign things, I warned. Then we'll doodle, she smiled. I told her everything by not naming it. She listened by not fixing it. Do you want me to disappear? She asked. I shook my head. Do you want any closer? I want air, I said. She moved an inch away and breathed with me. Evelyn called again while pigeons ruled cities. I made a mistake, she cried. I said into my phone, I made a life. Choose me, she said. I chose me, I replied. Then choose us, she begged. There's no us, I said. She screamed. You're cruel. I whispered, I'm cured. Mia touched my wrist like checking weather. Stay, she asked. I stayed. Days taught me new grammar. When Mia asked tea, I learned to answer yes. When she said walk, I learned feet weren't enemies. She never asked why not. She asked why, like a door opening. One night she admitted, I'm scared of borrowed hearts. I said, I only own mine in installments. That's enough, she smiled. Evelyn sent a final note. I'll wait. I wrote back, don't. Mia read my face, not my phone. You look lighter, she said. I dropped something, I replied. Careful, she warned. It was heavy, I said. She nodded. Good riddance. We stood by water that practice time. I don't know how to love, I confessed. Mia answered, start with lunch. I fail at romance, I warned. I'm major in patience, she replied. Evelyn vanished like a sentence I finished. Mia stayed like a question that wanted me. When she took my hand, I almost apologized to ghosts. Instead, I said, teach me tomorrow. She squeezed gently. Only tomorrow. All of them, I corrected. Loving again felt like betrayal until it felt like breathing. Evelyn came again with rain in her hair and said, "I'm not leaving." I answered, "You always did." She stepped inside anyway. "I'm different." "So am I said. She touched her chest. "I broke everything." I nodded. "It shows." "Fix me," she begged. "I'm not a clinic," I replied. "Love me," she whispered. "I did," I said. "Then do it again," she cried. "I don't repeat funerals," I answered. She fell into a chair like it might forgive her. "I lost him," she sobbed. "You lost yourself," I corrected. "I found you," she insisted. "I changed addresses," I said. "Tell me what to say," she pleaded. "Goodbye," I offered. "Adam," she said broken. "I'm listening," I replied. "Take me back," she begged. "I already did," I answered. Her face lifted. "Back to my life," I finished. She argued with breath. "I'll do anything." "Do yourself," I told her. "I don't know how," she said. "Then learn without me," I replied. "You're punishing me," she cried. "I'm freeing me," I answered. "Doesn't it hurt?" she asked. "Yes," I admitted. "Then why?" "Because hurt is honest and pity rots," I said. She stood. "I loved you." "I know," I replied. "Then I deserve another chance." "You deserve the truth," I said. "What is it?" "That I'm not your shelter," I answered. "The door listened like a friend." She held it. "If I walk out." "You will," I said. "You'll never see me again." "I'm already there," I replied. She stared. "You're cruel." "I'm clear," I said. Tears ran out of her and kept going. "I forgive you," she whispered. I nodded. "And I forgive you." She smiled through damage. "Then come." I shook my head. "Forgiveness doesn't mean return." She dropped the knob. "Then what is it?" "It's goodbye without a war," I said. She left finally, softer than she ever arrived. The apartment exhaled. I did too. Nathan called. "It's over," he said. "For who?" I asked. "For Lucas," he answered. "Define over," I said. "Assets frozen. Friends missing. Name radioactive." I leaned back. "Karma has manners." He laughed quietly. "You okay?" "Unclaimed," I replied. Sophie texted a single line. "He asked for you." I wrote, "Tell him he already had me." She sent a heart that looked tired. Lucas called from a number I did not save. "Adam," he croaked. "Speak," I said. "I lost everything," he confessed. "You misplaced it," I corrected. "Help me," he begged. "With what?" "With mercy," he whispered. "I invested it elsewhere," I replied. "Please," he said. "I am busy not becoming you," I answered. He cried. I listened. Then I ended the call without ceremony. Silence applauded. Mia met me on the bridge where the river practiced forgetting. "Are you okay?" she asked. "I'm unlearning," I said. "Can I sit?" "You already are," I smiled. We watched water carry old news. She said, "You're lighter." "I drop history," I replied. "Does it bounce?" "Only once," I said. She asked, "Do you miss her?" "I miss the boy," I answered. "Can I meet him?" "He retired," I smiled. "Good," she laughed. "I only trust veterans." I told her. "I forgave them." "Both?" she asked. "All," I said. "Does it fix you?" "No," I replied. "Then why?" "Because carrying it broke me," I said. She slipped her hand into mine like it belonged nowhere else. "I won't borrow you," she promised. "I won't rent myself," I replied. We walked until the city learned our footsteps. "Is this peace?" she asked. "It answers when called," I said. "Call it," she dared. "Peace," I whispered. It didn't arrive grandly. It arrived like breath. Later, Nathan toasted contracts and I toasted mornings. Sophie sent photos of empty rooms, and I sent her receipts for courage. Dr. Harris emailed, "Proud of you." I replied, "I'm alive." Evelyn never came again. The absence stayed polite. One evening, Mia asked, "Marry me?" like she was asking for salt. I laughed. "I thought you'd ask for dessert." She smiled. "I did." "You?" I answered, "I'm marry peace." She tilted her head. "Does it object?" "Only if I stop choosing it," I said. She took my hands. "Then choose." "I do," I answered, and meant today and tomorrow and the days that hide behind them. I didn't throw a wedding. I made a promise instead. "I will not disappear," I told her. "I won't hunt you," she replied. We kissed like adults who had learned vocabulary. Sometimes I hear Evelyn's name on trains and let it pass like weather. Sometimes Lucas's face flickers on screens and looks smaller than his mirror. I don't clap. I don't curse. I water my life and watch it grow. Karma never screamed. It whispered. I listened, and I love the quiet.